And just like that, guys, we are back to winning ways. We can put the Chelsea draw behind us. We've gone ahead and we've beaten Brentford at home in a little bit of a lackluster game. But you know what? We just got the job done tonight. Welcome back to Operation Arsenal and welcome back to another happy MGH because we've won. 5 points clear again. And as of right now, as I'm recording, just a few moments after the game finished, Chelsea are currently losing to Leeds. They were 2-0 down and they've scored, so I'll be keeping my eye out on that one. I'm hoping Leeds can do everyone a favour and beat Chelsea, because Chelsea, obviously, they're doing quite well at the moment. But full focus on tonight's game, of course. It's in our hands, similar to my Dortmund career mode at the moment. If I just win all my games, if Arsenal win all our games, we'll win the title. It's as simple as that. So just getting the 3 points today is all that mattered to me. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the best game. It was a little bit lackluster. And I feel like we've actually come away with 3 points, but we've actually lost quite a lot today as well, with potentially 2 injuries, Mosquera and Rice. Hincapié went down towards the end with a head injury. I think he's absolutely fine, though. I'm really nervous about Mosquera. It didn't look particularly bad. It's one of those where he's jumped up to head the ball or, just be physical with someone in the air. He's landed particularly awkwardly. I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one. But when a player has to come off, even just a minute or two before half time, it's probably a pretty bad one. It might not be pretty bad, but let's just hope, fingers crossed, that he'll be okay. The good news is Saliba isn't out for a long time. He should be back in the next game or the game after. So worst case scenario, we have to go to Villa at the weekend with Timber as a centre-back and White as a right-back. So let's talk about that. So Mosquera came off 44 minutes in. I personally expected Ben White to slot in there and Timber to go right-back. But I think what we've seen now is that period when we first signed Ben White. Do you remember? He was actually going to play as a centre-back. I think we just did not have any other options, and he did the best he could there, and it didn't quite work out. We moved him over to right back, and obviously he made that position his own, and he was brilliant today. His first start, God, was it Old Trafford at the start of the season? I can't remember, but when we signed Timber, we all assumed, well, he will obviously play at right back, but for the Netherlands, he plays at centre back. And clearly Arteta thinks, well, I'd rather play Timber at centre-back than Ben White. So who knows if that's what will happen if we don't have Saliba or Mosquera in the next game. We've even seen Calafiori play at centre-back this season. I'd rather not. And I guess at a complete... I mean, if it was an absolute emergency, we could put Declan Rice at centre-back, but I think that was a long time ago where he featured as a centre-back. I think at West Ham a couple of times. He's just not that kind of a defensive player these days, is he? He can do the job, though, is what I'm trying to say. It's just typical, though, isn't it? It really is. But fair play to Timber. Look, he's not the tallest, and he's definitely a right-back, in my opinion, but it just goes to show how versatile he really is. He is such a fantastic player, and he was brilliant, even against Igor Thiago, the absolute tank. He is a joke. He's so strong, and he's scored something like 9 goals in 8 games. He's absolutely on fire right now. And I would actually like to say that Timber kept him pretty quiet. But we can't just talk about Timber. Hincapié, a new signing. He's on loan, but obviously we'll make it permanent for next season. What a player we've signed here. I've been a big fan for a while. He was fantastic for Leverkusen in the Invincible season and the whole time he was there. The fact that he can play left back and centre back, again, just versatile. Versatility is key to Arteta, it seems. He absolutely loves players that can play in different positions. What I love about Hincapié, okay, yes, he's pacey, and yes, he's strong, but it's the tenacity, it's that aggression. You can see, he's just a pit bull, isn't he? He reminds me of Alexis Sanchez, but in a completely different position, obviously. Just does not stop, and he won't give up. He's a warrior. And I really, really, truly believe it's only a matter of time until he potentially is a starting left back for us. And that's crazy because the next player I'm going to talk about is Calafiori. Again, fantastic today. I just don't know how we're going to get all of these players in. The way I see it is Gabriel obviously comes back in and Saliba obviously comes back in and Timber will play right back. But how do you then get Calafiori or Hincapié and even Marzlou Skelly as well? It's really quite something. What a problem to have. Calafiori was fantastic today. Deserved a goal, actually. And at times, I was seeing him down the left wing, further ahead than most players. And Merino was coming in to cover him on that kind of left mid, left wing back, left back role. It's hilarious to me. He is just unmarkable, it would seem. And he almost scored twice today. I love Calafiori, but I just see something in Hincapié. I think Hincapié is a fantastic centre-back, don't get me wrong, but the way he plays, the aggression, is way better suited to being on that left side. I truly believe that, and I think it's going to be a case of maybe game by game, you kind of go with whether you want Calafiori, who's definitely better going forward, or you want Hincapié, who's definitely better going backwards, you know? Again, great problem to have. The Rice injury, I don't know if it's more about just protecting him. Maybe, I mean, he looked pretty exhausted. It's very rare to see Declan Rice stop running and, you know, like kind of keel over and take some deep breaths. He was doing it a few times. I think maybe he's just knackered. He has played so many 90 minutes recently and at a high level. He's always putting in great performances. He was superb again today, almost scored. I really, really hope that's the case and it's just... Now we've taken him off just to rest him for the weekend. We'll find out soon enough. I thought Zubamendi was great. Ødegaard did well today. Obviously, he's still getting back to his best. Madueke frustrated me, but also excited me a lot today. He was so good in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. And his little flick into Ben White, who then crossed it into Merino. We'll talk about Merino in a minute. It was such a lovely little flick from Madueke. But then what we saw was the drop-off from Saka when it comes to crosses into the box, that delivery that Saka has, and corners. My God. Madueke took 2 or 3 corners in a row down the right side, and they were absolute howlers, as Cal Freezy would say. Saka, he delivers, along with Rice, of course, just the best corners and the best crosses, and we saw that drop-off for sure. Madueke is also coming back to full fitness. It's okay. He was still really good. Probably should have scored. I think he had the most touches in their box until he came off. He's such a good option for us. And I think for sure we'll see him on the left as well. I'll talk about Martinelli next because he annoyed me today. He actually did annoy me. At times I just thought, what's the point in giving him the ball? He did his usual kind of making those headless chicken runs. Head down when he gets the ball, not looking around, not scanning. I think Arteta had enough and just hooked him. But again, another player that's been out a little bit. Maybe he's just trying to get some minutes in the tank, under the belt. And I'm not writing Martinelli off, but this is still, for me, the position where we are weakest. And without Trossard, we've been, I think, a lot worse off down that left side. And Trossard isn't, you know, an absolute superstar player. He's been brilliant this season, but it's a worry for me that in the near future, that is still a position we haven't quite cracked. But how could I go through this video without talking about Merino? He is a monster, isn't he? Now, I know this is going to irk a lot of people, especially non-Arsenal fans, but just hear me out, okay? Merino, for club and country, is up there as one of the best and highest performing players we've seen. He is genuinely very underrated and he's not getting talked about enough. He's not a striker, yet we're seeing 30 goals assists this calendar year. It's ridiculous, the stats he's pumping out. And he's not even technically a starter for Arsenal. He doesn't get into our strongest 11. I think Havertz plays up front if he's fit. Gyökeres plays up front if he's fully fit. He obviously doesn't play in midfield ahead of Zubamendi, Rice, Ødegaard. But here we are talking about another monumental man-of-the-match performance, goal and an assist. Fantastic. I love Merino. I really, really do. And I wish he could do what he does for Spain in midfield, for us in midfield. But I don't think it quite translates into the Premier League, that free role he has for Spain. But he is still getting goals. He plays, or he starts as a striker for us, but he is everywhere. Good luck marking him. It's so good to see. I love Merino. And actually right now, Gyökeres doesn't start for me. I think we start Merino. I mean, what can you say? Gyökeres hasn't done anything to warrant kicking him out of the team yet. We'll see what happens against Villa, but I fully anticipate Merino starting that game up front. But let's talk about Brentford really quick, because they've been fantastic this season. And I won't lie to you guys, I really thought they would be one of the favourites to go down, having sold a few players like Mbeumo and Norgard, of course. Would have been nice for Norgard to get on today. But they bought well, and they're nowhere near the relegation zone. In fact, I would say they've been one of the stars of the season, or one of the underdogs of the season. No one expected them to do as well as they have. And obviously, to come to the Emirates is a tough task, but they really weren't that bad. I really, truly believe that. And this player here, the one player I really want to mention, similar to Calafiori, Italian, down the wing, Coyote, his long throws are actually sickening. It's like Rory Delap suddenly turned Italian. Honestly, I think Coyote, it would surprise me if he's at Brentford next season. He's physically... I think, honestly, I'm going to say this. Physically, he was the best on the pitch today. Unplayable. So strong. So athletic. It wouldn't surprise me if he put in one of the highest amount of yards or meters covered, kilometers, whatever they want to measure it in. He definitely ran one of the most today. I might be wrong. It just looked like it. He probably made some of the most consistent sprints. He probably won most of his duels. I mean... Do they show this here? Jules? Where's Jules? Do we have Jules? Oh, okay. To be fair, I saw him win aerial duels and just thought, yeah, he's absolutely unbeatable in the air. But he's lost out a few ground duels there, about half. But honestly, maybe I'm overplaying it a little bit, but I just really like him. I really like Coyote. He will be absolutely at a bigger club soon. Sorry, Brentford, but that is a prediction. That kind of player is a hot commodity right now. Wing back / right back, physically incredible, long throw. He's going to get bought. But that, guys, is obviously our ticket to being 5 points clear again. 14 games played. Chelsea still losing, by the way, which is great. Sunderland and Liverpool drawing, but it was so important today to restore the 5-point lead. Already people panicking and thinking, oh, City 2 points behind, oh... We're fine. We're okay. And it's a shame that we're playing Villa next, because they are on a very good run at the moment. They are certainly in form. And Aston Villa going to Villa Park has been tricky for us over the years. And I'm not looking forward to that one. I'm nervous for that one. But today went really well. Hopefully you've enjoyed my review, and I will see you for the next one.